Main method is the equivalent of the main method as we know in C language. It's the entry point of your program, which means that it is the first function that executes when your program starts its execution. In this tutorial, we learn the syntax of this function. We also learn about top level statements that provide a shortcut to the main function. We shall start from the same point at which we left the previous tutorial. Let's first study the structure of a program.cs file. A namespace can be used to enclose your class in the same way as we have namespaces in C++. A namespace has a name identifier like you are seeing console app1, and the curly braces are the enclosures. These braces are not necessary as we shall see later, and in C#, functions exist inside a class only. There are no global functions, so we have a class inside the namespace braces. And inside this class, we have the main function. The function must be static, so we have static void main. We have an output statement in this function. It's a statement that will be executed when the project starts its execution at main. Main function can have many signatures: static void main, static int main. This one can return an int just like we have in C++. For asynchronous support, we can have static async task main. We shall talk about async keyword later on, but this is also one of the signatures that is possible. We can also have static async task int main, that is the corresponding for the int. This returns an int. Each of these functions have a corresponding overload that can take command line arguments. The command line arguments, they are available as a string array in this overload in this function. The main function, it is not compulsory to be public. It need not be public, and now we can run the program. Open the debug menu and click Start Debugging, or equivalently you can remember the shortcut key F5. The program executes and prints the console message. Let's now see how to simplify the namespaces. Suppose we have this program with the namespace that encloses this class. The new C# syntax allows us to remove the braces and replace them with the semicolon as you see here. The remaining code is automatically treated as if it were written inside namespace braces. It is just a shortcut that you can make, but it is not necessary that you always do it. It is available when you need it. The program.cs file now looks like this. The braces of namespace, they have been removed. We can again run the program by using F5 key to verify that the program compiles successfully and runs the same way as earlier. Next, let's see the top level statements. Main program can be simplified. There is no need to write the enclosing class. There is also no need to write the main function even. You can write the statements of main function directly. Main is implied. Compiler knows that it is main and it can therefore understand the statements directly. We can again run this file to verify that the program compiles and runs successfully. If you have more statements, they can also be added. You can even create variables. The compiler will collect all these top level statements as if they had been written in a proper main function. If you want to add more classes and namespaces, then they can be written after the top level statements. Here we have added a class to our namespace that you can see we have written it after the top level statements. Next, let us see what is a global namespace. The console class that we have used is in the namespace system. But the question is, where have we referenced the system namespace? In the previous versions of C#, we used to add using directives such as using system. You can click on the curly braces at the top left corner. Here we can see that Visual Studio maintains an auto-generated g.cs file. This file contains global namespace directives. We do not have to reference the namespaces in each file. It is automatically maintained in a global place. So this is how your console is now working, because the using system statement, it is now in the auto-generated gs.cs file that contains global namespace directives. We shall talk about the global keyword later also. Thank you.